This is going to be all the footage that Bethesda showed off at Starfield Direct about environmental scenery. So it's not going to really focus on wildlife, but there might be some wildlife and stuff like that in there. So they mentioned that the lighting model that they use calculates the light in real time. So if you are on the ground and you observe shadows, they should move as time progresses on, which sounds pretty neat, as I actually can't believe that is actually in the game. And there was even some of the developers that were actually praising how some of the sunsets and sunrises look in Starfield. Another thing you'll notice is there will be planets or other moons in the background off of the horizon, and yes, those are actually there. They are not like screen backgrounds or anything like that. You can actually go and visit those. Those are their actual locations. But some of the scenes where they show off some of the vast distances that you can see, and you are supposed to be able to go to all of those locations. They even showed this scene of the St. Louis Gateway Arch. So for everybody that's been wondering, is Earth going to be a destination you can go to in the game? And, well, it looks like you are going to be able to go to Earth. Now, some of the things that they did talk about, what's interesting about the worlds, is if you left a world and you came back, it should actually look a little bit different with how they procedurally generate the environment of the world and some of the structures. And they even demoed some of that off. So it'll be interesting to see just how much of the world actually changes between one instance and another. Now, they said when they stitch these worlds together, they kind of use these big tiles, and as you get closer, the game kind of fills in more and more, and kind of as you get closer, then they will start to populate in different things for you to go explore, different creatures, and maybe even some different side missions. They also mentioned that they studied a lot of data from NASA and some other kind of scientific research to understand how some of the worlds would be in certain solar systems, and like what would be the correct distance away from the sun for there to be an actual habitable planet. So don't expect habitable planets to be too close to the sun or too far away. It needs to kind of be in that sweet spot, and that's really what they're kind of talking about. Another thing you kind of see throughout some of this video footage is there is some wind blowing, and there's even some lightning on some of these shots. And so I'm just going to be curious to see if the planet is always like that, or is there an actual weather mechanic built into some of these planets. But some of my thoughts is the scenery looks fantastic. I'm really kind of impressed with a lot of the different kind of elevation that they show off. They show off some valleys, they show off some mountains, they show off some vast distances. They also show off some really cool shots of some planets in the skybox. But the lighting is just fantastic, especially the way it comes through, you know, some of the trees or through some of the mountains and hills into some of the valleys. And that was about all they kind of mentioned. So I'll let the scenery play out here, and take care.